Hey, what's up guys? It's Cat from the Monkey Making Misplays channel. Today I'll be profiling Megalonozuchi. He is the counterpart, I guess you would say, to Shoujo. It still cares about the stealth names and whatnot, but we'll get into the bit. So, starting off with the ride line, we play the Shoujo ride line. So starter, grade 1, and grade 2. They do stuff very similarly. When this is placed, you look at the top 5, you'll get a stealth put into soul and one into bind. And when you ride on top with this guy, you get to look at the top 5 again, put one in the soul and one in the board. It's really good in this deck because that's all you care about is stealth names. So this allowing to thin your deck is really cool. It's really consistent, which is a lot of filtering. Moving on with the boss monster, Megalonozuchi. It's weird. I am not gonna sit here and tell you I'm the best pilot of this deck. It is very confusing for me. I think it's very fun, but I know for a fact I could probably play it better. I make a lot of misplays when I'm playing this deck because it feels like you gotta think ahead, and I have a chronic case of the dumb. So if you're willing to put in the time and patience in this deck, I feel like you can get a lot more out of it. But starting with his effect, while he's on once per turn, while on V, you can bind one or more cards from your soul, and he'll get all the names of the cards in your bind, which matters because you'll bind the Shoujo name and he'll have the Shoujo name. So for other cards that you'll see, you can activate your abilities. And then once per turn on V, counterblast 1, suck in 2 rear guards, and then you can call 2 cards from your deck to share name with him, and they get +5. And then if your opponent's Vanguard is grade 3 or greater, all your rear guards with stealth can attack from the back row. So it's really cool, really strong. You can get a lot of attacks through. That's only if your opponent's on grade 3. So your first grade 3 turn is still like 3 attacks only, but I feel like when you go to your second grade 3 and get like 6 attacks, it more than makes up for it. Moving on, we of course play 3 more for the Persona ride, and sometimes just for the name, so you could tutor it out and maybe add it to your hand. I still haven't found the lines to do that, but I know it is definitely possible. We play 4 copies of Unprecedented. When he's placed by a card's ability, you get as long as your Vanguard's name is Shoujo, which he will have, you get a Soul Blast 1 and draw a card, and if 2 of your rear guards were put into Soul this turn, he'll get +10. So a beater, card draw, overall good card. We play 4 copies of Dual Wielder. He's the card that allows you to cycle cards from your bind zone. So when he attacks, if you Vanguard with Shoujo, which you will, you counterblast 1, bind another rear guard, choose a face-up card in your opponent's bind zone, put that to the bottom, which won't matter like 99% of the time. And if you don't do that, you can get a card in your bind zone with stealth, add it to your hand. So if you have like a Persona right in there, or a PG, or just any card you might want in there, you can pull it back. And then we play the Forbid Doll to be able to pull those 2 cards out of your deck, just deck thinning. Moving on to the grade 2s, we play 4 copies of Izazao. He is another tutor. When this unit is placed on rear, if you have Vanguard with Shoujo, you counterblast 1, look at the top 5, get unit with stealth. And then if he is put from rear into soul, you get to choose one of your opponent's cards in their bind zone, put it to the bottom, and then give your Vanguard +5. You mostly use them just with the tutor ability. And then 2 more copies of the grade 2 ride line Shoujo, just to be able to call out of the deck. It's just, that's all it really is for. For grade 1s, Fork Tail, just a classic. Look at the top 7, get unit with stealth, put into your soul. Again, just a lot of consistency. This deck is very solitaire-like. We play 4 copies of Kakechika. When he's placed on rear, you choose unit with stealth in your drop, put it in your soul. And then if you have a unit who's placed on rear from the bind, and you have a Vanguard with Shoujo, you put him in the soul, and then you get the draw card. So more soul, more drawing, just an overall good card. Plus being able to put cards into your soul is really cool, so you can bind it with Snake, and get the name and stuff. And then we play 4 copies of Togachirashi, who is just a pitch fodder. I can show you what you can change out for him in a bit, but when you discard him, he just puts him in the soul. He also has the stealth name, so overall I like it a lot. It just makes pitching to write up a lot easier. And then we play 4 copies of technically the bad PG, but it has the stealth name, so you can pull it out of the bind with your dual wielder and stuff, put it into your soul with like Fork Tail. You can actually try to get these back from the bind zone. Again, I'm not very good at it, but it's something you can do. So some people will recommend this card. I think it's just cool, just to be able to play a different PG for once. Moving on to the trigger lineup, we play Dragon Empire OT. I just think it's really cool. Me and Leo decided not to play like any effect triggers just for funsies. So just 8 regular crits, 3 vanilla fronts, and then of course just 4 vanilla heals. Obviously play the effect fronts if you'd want, or if you could play effect draws, change the heals for your locals and whatnot. That's pretty much the deck profile though. Like I said, I think this deck is a little too complicated for me. I am not the greatest pilot in the world. For instance, some people really like this card. When he's called on by a Vanguard's ability, he gets plus 10, making him 19. I was never able to pull off that consistently enough, so that's why I replaced him with the old what do you call it, Toga. I always ended up pitching this card, so I figured I might as well just put in this to get more soul. But that's the thing, this deck is really cool if you learn to pilot it properly. When you see me play it this Friday, you're gonna notice I made probably a lot of mistakes, a lot of misplays. But I hope you guys enjoyed anyway. Hope you guys enjoyed this deck profile, and we'll just see you in the next one. Bye bye.